Hey guys, this is Jay from Sentinel Trading Channel. So welcome to today's episode of the binary options strategy with Binbot Pro trading software. So basically this video is going to cover Binbot Pro as a primary trading tool along with a strategy on how to use it well. Some of you guys may ask, why do we need a strategy or even a plan if you are using a trading robot? Well, the reason is because even though a simple strategy is translated into a trading algorithm, which is usually how a trading robot works, we still need to know when to actually use a particular trading strategy or even a style. So it is a simple thought process for us humans. Say that, for example, if we learn a certain tactic to solve a problem or even to, say, beat a game, maybe, we should know that in which situation it is effective. So same goes to a trading robot such as Binbot Pro. So in fact, all trading robots available in the market now won't be effective all the time. So if you're expecting a trading robot that can solve timing issues or auto select which market situation for you, robots like that typically is going to cost you $100 or even thousands of dollars. So in that case, in the case of Binbot Pro, it is actually a free trading robot. So it's a trading robot that allows us to set our own parameters and also choose which currency to trade. So one should expect a limitation that comes with a free robot such as the Binbot Pro. So one of the things that most people that sign up Binbot Pro, they probably do not realize that Binbot Pro actually executes the trade within the next minute. So this results to people that actually use Binbot Pro, they actually use it blindly and purely relying in avoiding like a triple news or even high impact news. So that's actually not enough to encourage a consistent growth in your account. Fortunately, there's a way to make it work. So my experience of using Binbot Pro since 2018 shows that it is indeed possible, but we need to kind of help the robot to solve the timing issues and also avoid bad trading conditions in the market. So especially the global market facing crises such as the coronavirus, also known as the COVID-19, and also the oil situation where the price of oil is extremely low right now. So basically, to aid Binbot Pro, I developed a certain guideline in my PDF guide to achieve consistency. And if you're watching the video right now, the timing is really perfect. So I've actually modified the method like 6 times, and this would be probably the 7th time that seems to be really exciting. So the reason why it's exciting is because Binbot Pro is able to pick up more good trades using a new settings pairing with charts to help with the timing issues, meaning that it's something that has higher number of setups and accuracy as compared to the slower pace settings O and settings D method. This recent beta test settings that I've been testing for quite a while now and also tested in my live account has successfully grown my $3,000 account into $6,000 in a week with lesser time spent on my desk. So if you guys want to have a detailed tutorial, check out my previous video, which the link is in the descriptions. I will also show like more straight demonstration with the new beta test settings in the second half of this video to show exactly what I look for before I turn on the robot. So please do watch this video first before you watch the tutorial video to gain more understanding. So how to access my Binbot Pro settings, the PDF guide, as well as my Telegram group, which I give basic alerts on when to not use Binbot Pro, and as well as a free manual signal group, which is going to be active again real soon. The reason why it's currently down for a while is because of due to extensive testing of these new settings. So anyway, the manual signal group is actually free, and the rest of the settings and the PDF guide will be given free to those that sign up and fund an account using my referral link. So make sure to email me to register an account with Binbot Pro to ensure the smooth process of gaining these benefits. So if you already have a funded account, do email me as well, and we can discuss alternative measures on getting you access to the same benefits. Alright, so before we begin, if you are interested in trading binary options as a day trading activity or even as an activity to work from home, do subscribe to my channel for more content. So do remember that it is not a robot that we can actually activate randomly and expect growth in our account. Plus, the top 10 robot in Binbot Pro is harder to achieve consistency due to unpredictable currency that's going to be selected, and also the execution of more than one trade should you actually turn on the Binbot Pro and leave it for a couple of minutes. So overall, if you guys do that, it's going to be a lot more riskier, and you're going to have a hard time growing your account consistently. So on the other hand, you guys should know that Binbot Pro does calculate and make its own decision while we are referring to the charts. So it is certainly able to make good decision as long as I avoid bad conditions. So for example, in this chart here, it looks like a similar setup, but Binbot Pro took a different trading decision. So which is one, it decides to go for a call, and the other it decides to go for a put, but whereby both of these trades ended up a win. While even though we are referring to the charts that looks like the same setup, some people might actually ask, like, why don't I actually do a manual trade, since I'm actually going through the trouble of setting up my charts and trade through the charts, and I don't really need Binbot Pro. So, well, the thing is, it's actually totally fine if we are doing manual trade, and if it gives consistent result, it's extremely recommended to actually continue to do that. So in fact, I actually do recommend sticking to whichever trading method that works for you guys if you already have one. So I personally do both, with one manual trading and also Binbot Pro trading. So however, I do separate these two accounts for easier tracking, and as well as we don't actually share the risk in these two different methods. So Binbot Pro has my own risk, and also manual trading has its own risk as well. At the end of the day, Binbot Pro and manual trading works well for me, and it's capable of showing positive results so far. So let's begin the first recorded trading session, and I will demonstrate the new beta test settings in the following segment. Alright, so do stick around. Okay, so let's start with the first trade. So I'm looking at the Euro Japanese Yen, so I'm going to change the pair to Euro Japanese Yen first, because I'm standing by to turn on the robot. In fact, I'm actually going to turn on right now. So the reason is that the stochastic RSI line, blue and red line, actually did cross just now, and the MACD is below 0. So basically I usually turn on the robot when the blue line actually crosses out first. At the moment when it crosses, I will actually turn on the robot. However, because in this scenario both the lines, blue and red line, did cross out at the same time due to the speed of the move. So hold on, so there's a call trade in 1440. Let me turn off the robot. So always turn off the robot after one trade. There's a call trade at 1440. So as I was saying, the MACD has a gap when it is below 0, so that is ideal when to take a trade when the stochastic RSI is below 25. Alright, so I'm going to wait for the trade to expire. So in fact, the US Japanese Yen is actually perfect to take a trade, as it's going above and the MACD is about to cross. So it's very likely for the MACD to have a cross, and at the same time the stochastic RSI goes above 80. However, unfortunately, there is no USD JPY pair for Binbot Pro, so I probably will not activate for that trade, so even though it is ideal. So but it's a good demonstration on what I'm actually looking for. So I'm going to wait for a trade this trade to expire. So it seems that I'm kind of losing right now, so let's wait for the trade to expire and see whether the price will go back up. Alright guys, so we're back actually. We've won the call trade. It was quite an interesting one, and my balance now stands at 5200. So you can see the charts, the price did go back up with a strong bounce back at the support line formed at the Euro Japanese Yen. Alright, so this is a good example of the trade. So this is one of the special situation. Usually when the stochastic RSI goes outside the 80-20 channel, I will only turn on the robot if the blue line crosses outside the channel. However, in this case, the blue and the red line crosses out at the same time. Do make sure if you are watching the charts, because sometimes blue and red line does go out the channel at the same time. So in that special case, we can consider turning on the robot. However, if in the situation where the blue line goes outside the channel first and it stays there for maybe about a minute, then only the red line goes out. So that is the indication when it's too late to turn on the beta test settings. All right, in this segment, I would like to actually highlight a situation here, the one that I circled. So this is a sample of a MACD line with increased volatility. As you can see, the size of the candlestick increase. However, it is kind of like forming a horizontal channel. So you can see MACD that has a shapes something like that. And as compared to the trade that we actually took before, we can see that the MACD crosses quite a lot of times within like the 20 minutes, and clearly you can see the Euro USD is forming a larger horizontal channel. So this situation is actually pretty tough for us to actually trade using the new beta test settings. So this is one of the weakness for this beta test settings. If you see a MACD cross that happens like maybe twice within like 10 to 15 minutes, it is not really a good market structure to actually execute these settings. All right, so do make sure we actually avoid when you see a MACD that crosses pretty often. So we can actually look at other MACD charts that has this similar structure, as I'm going to circle here for the Euro USD pair. You can see that it crosses the blue and the orange line for MACD crosses each other like within like the first like 15 minutes. That's an indication that the market is forming a large horizontal channel, and usually the beta test settings would not actually work pretty well. We will actually need to wait for the MACD line to have lesser cross and it oscillates like smoothly. So when it oscillates smoothly, like let's say for example the current move, you can see live on the Euro Japanese move, it has an increased gap and a nice movement on top. That shows that it has a more definite move towards one direction. So that is when we can actually resume the beta test settings. Okay, so this is just a short note on the new settings that we are going to trade with, and this is one of the things that we need to avoid when we are trading with the new settings. Okay, on the side note, settings always still working pretty well. So for example, if we see such a formation like there's too many crosses in the MACD indicator, so you can switch back to settings O and wait for a settings O setup and trade using that settings instead. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Alright guys, so we're back. So right now the Euro Japanese yen has a blue color stochastic RSI line below 20 and the MACD is above 0 and it has a MACD cross. So I'm going to change the beta test robot to Euro JPY and make sure I click save, and I'm going to activate it immediately since the stochastic RSI blue line has already crossed below 20. Okay, so when the stochastic RSI crosses below 20, we will look for either the MACD is below 0 and has a gap between the orange and blue line, or if the MACD is above 0, there must be a cross between the blue and the orange line within the 2 minutes prior to the current price structure that you see. Okay, so let's wait for a trade to be executed. There's a put trade at 15.27. We turn off the robot and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so we're back. So apparently the put trade actually won. We actually seen the price actually moved up quite a bit, and even the price moved against us for quite a bit. Fortunately, within 7 minutes it managed to go back down. So sometimes it does happen, surprising move like that. So right now we have a situation with the Euro JPY. The blue line is actually crossing below 20 and there is an obvious gap between the MACD line. However, the MACD line is actually crossing below 0, so it's more like a continuing downward momentum. So it's most likely I'm going to attempt this trade since the MACD is like below 0. So I'm going to give this a shot, although it's quite rare that I have this chance to actually take this setup when the MACD is angling nicely downwards and just cross the zero line. So the only thing is the blue line is not really an obvious cross, but I might actually just give this a try. Okay, so let me give this a shot. Euro JPY. I'm gonna click save and I'm gonna turn it on right now. Alright, so I'm gonna wait the trade to be executed. Alright guys, so we have a put trade at 15:45 for Euro JPY. So I'm gonna turn off the robot. Put trade at 45, which is just about one candle before. Okay, so let's see how this trade works out. Alright guys, so we're back. So apparently we have won the 15:45 trade for Euro JPY. Now my balance stands at near 6,000 now. So you can see that from the green arrow down, so the downward momentum did continue. So it's a good trade using the beta test settings. Okay, so pretty good. So my trade history right now, so I'm right now at a 6 trade winning streak. Which actually four or five of them actually uses the new beta test settings, so it's a pretty good indication of how it's working. So generally I do like a gapping MACD like the one we see in the chart here. Alright guys, so in this example I'm going to execute a settings O setup on a side note for Euro USD. On a side note that currently I would put settings D on hold and please do not use settings D for the time being, and only practice settings O setup, which is an increasing ATR. So the way I judge the ATR is on the past 10 minutes. So we can see on the red line, it's the current ATR is actually forming higher than the previous 10 minutes. So right now I'm going to confirm that the RSI is outside the 75-25 channel. I'm going to activate settings O for Euro USD. Okay, so that's pretty much how I execute it. And also another modification to the settings O is if within the past 5 minutes there is a spike in ATR, I would also use settings O. Like right now, for example, there is a decrease in ATR. There's a put trade in 15:56. Let me do this first. Let me turn off the robot. Put trade at 56. It's about 2 candles before. So let's hope for a reversal to happen. So as I was saying, if within the previous 5 minutes there's a spike in ATR and a sudden decrease in ATR, I would still use settings O for that particular trade. Settings O is still working well in the current market situation, so you guys can actually try to use that setup. Alright guys, so we're back. So apparently we have won this put trade at 15:56, and right now my balance stands at $6,384. You can see on the chart a nice reversal trade that happened and caught by the Binbot Pro trading software. Pretty good. So now this would be 7th win streak in a row. So let's move on to the next trade. Alright guys, so we have a new situation with also Euro Japanese Yen. Okay, let me turn on the beta test robot first. So what happened is the stochastic RSI for Euro Japanese Yen blue line has just crossed above the 80 line, and at the same time the MACD is actually above zero and it has a gap in it. So I do notice the cross. There's actually a MACD cross about 3 minutes ago. So since it's less than 2 minutes ago and it's already gapping, I would still activate the robot. Alright, so if in the situation there's a put trade at 1609, remember to turn off the robot first. Okay, you can see a balance decrease due to the trade taken. Okay, so it seems like the current price movement has a strong put, so it looks like a good trade. So let's wait for a trade to be expired. So as I was saying, if the MACD cross happened to be like within 2 minutes from the time when we look at the charts, so therefore this trade setup we would actually skip it. Okay, we're back. So the put trade we actually won, and right now my balance stands at $6,900. So that is really fantastic, really nice put trade. Okay, Alright guys, so that's all for this episode. Hope this episode helped you guys in understanding the new beta test settings a lot more, including what we should avoid and also some special situation where we can actually apply settings O and also beta test settings. Alright, so do remember to check out the withdrawal videos if you guys are new and you guys want to know how the withdrawal is actually done on the video on the right. And also remember to check out my previous episode of the Binbot Pro, which covers a really good introductory segment about the new beta test settings. Alright, that's all guys. Do remember to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Cheers guys, till next time and stay safe.